So people know what we're talking about. You like kind of like what you said, you like facing one another. And what it is, it's you as Red Hood coming face to face with a multiversal Red Hood, like the DCeased version. And you dropped it for Halloween of 2023. And it's such a great job, dude. I mean, the acting to the cosplay itself, obviously, to the self-shot aspect, the lighting, the editing, it's beautifully done, dude, you know, and zombie like MJ thriller movements, you know what I mean?
Yes.
You're like,
yes.
You know what I mean?
So just in the helmet with the Red Hood when I was doing it, it's hard because when you're doing that, you don't realize that the camera's right here. And then I start walking this way. So that's why I took so many takes, but just getting that movement down, it's all about, you know, that's one thing I want to get into acting and all that's like all body language and movements, you know, emotions, making sure that Jason Todd looks actually afraid that like this, oh my gosh, this version of himself is coming to get him.
Didn't get much sleep. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Side Project Podcast. Yes! Let's take a sip from a Run It Up mugs. Thirsty today. I'm thirsty. I'm sleep deprived. But you know what helps sleep deprivation and thirst? It's these Side Project mugs that are available on the merch store right about now. The Side Project merch store. You can get the Run It Up mug, which tastes like glory. You can get the Side Project Park mug, which tastes like success. And you can get the Project Things mug, which tastes like sexualization, as well as all the hoodies and the tees and the beanies and the long sleeves and the crew necks and everything that's up there, such as the Project Gears merch that's up there right now. Look at it. Looks awesome. Looks amazing. I feel like there's a video game out there or something that copied us. It's so weird that happened. And as well as I haven't rocked one of these in a long time, but it says life's always better with a pot of Side Project, because it is. It really is. You know, it really, really is. And you can get all of these things on the Side Project merch store right now. And there's going to be more merch coming this year as well. It's just the tippy top of the year. So we're getting things going. Side Project merch store. Get that now. Listen, man, who's going to MegaCon? Dude, I wish that this was my announcement that I was going to be hosting at this year's MegaCon. I know I had talked to a few people and I was supposed to be out there, but unfortunately things went a different direction. So we're going to have to check that off the list for 2025 due to other obligations. I have to not go to Florida, unfortunately, but I wish I was. But in the meantime and in between time, if you are attending MegaCon 2024 coming up this February, something else that you should attend is the 14th annual official MegaCon after party on Saturday, February 3rd, party outside the box with the We Are Toys after party presented by Moshi Productions. There's going to be dancing, multiple bars so you can get your vibe on and everything. Just don't dance like they did in Morbius. You know what I mean? Are we still trying to forget that in 2024? I still never even saw it. Never even saw that movie. I just saw the clips, man. But they're gonna have tons of giveaways so you can put your hands up, grab something. Hey, yo, Jimmy, go long. Catch it, take it back to your hotel and cuddle with it. There's gonna be a laser light show that's sure to drive all the Catwomen wild, I'm sure, and so much more, including a cosplay contest, which is hosted by four-time guest and previous cosplay of the week here on the show, Imposter Cosplay, who's gonna be rocking his impeccable Turbo Man for the event. So if you're going to the after party, well, if you're going to MegaCon already, then you should be going to the after party. And if you're going to the after party, not only you're going to be having a good time and rocking out and dancing and getting giveaways and trying to catch the light, you're going to be supporting a previous cosplay of the week, a previous guest on the show, an awesome dude in the cosplay community. You're going to be supporting Imposter Cosplay if you go to that cosplay contest, or if you enter as well. And you're going to be supporting Moshi Productions, who are throwing it. And then in turn, I don't know how it works, but somehow it just tends to go this way. You're also going to be, it's going to circle back and you're kind of supporting the Side Project podcast. It's crazy how that works. I don't know. Don't ask me, but it does. You know, it really does. MoshiParties.com. You can go to their website, get all the further information, as well as on Instagram at Moshi Productions on IG. And that's MOSHIPROD on Instagram, and lock in everything you need to know. The tickets, the address, what time, where do I go, and what time do I get there? And make sure to follow Imposter Cosplay as well for updates on the cosplay contest, man. If you guys are going to that, I hope you guys have a good time. Cop those tickets. Go out there, take a couple selfies with Imposter, and tell them that the Projekt, the Chazosaurus Rex, sent ya. But anyway, let's get into the bread and the butter of this week's episode, because my guest this week is a longtime supporter of the show, and for that I am forever thankful, because my guest this week is a photographer, a cosplayer, an artist in the sense of crafting and prop painting, a clearly multi-talented individual as he dabbles in the cinematic arts, producing a few skits, even a couple little short films, and often self-shooting himself in cosplay as well, both videography and photography. A jack of all trades, producing content and creating cosplays in the likes of Red Hood, The Mandalorian, several Mortal Kombat cosplays, all of which blow my mind and are sure to impress all who feast their eyes upon them. My guest this week is one of the most humble in the community that I've had the opportunity to get to know, to even work with at last year's Anime Las Vegas. He's been a previous Cosplay of the Week here on the show, way back. So this is a long time coming, and I'm happy to have him as the first guest of 2024. Kinda, if you saw last week's episode. Ladies and gentlemen, let's put our hands together and give a warm welcome to Kapture Realm.
Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going?
Yes.
Kapture Realm.
Yes,
Dude. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you, Chestosaurus Rex.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? You got that?
Of course, man. Yes, dude.
It's been a long time coming, man. And
It
I'm
has,
very
dude.
happy to be here and, hang out with you guys.
Yeah, man. Oh, it's going to be a great time, dude. I've got so many things that I want to talk to you about, and it really has been a long time coming. I mean, I feel I've had a couple, I just had the Acosta project on not too long ago, and that was definitely a long time coming as well. I think he was the Cosplay of the Week on like episode 115 or 100 or even further back. I'm not sure. And then you as well. I don't remember what episode you were the Cosplay of the Week on. Do you even recall? It was way back. Way
back. It was at the beginning of my cosplay journey. So,
oh man, then it had to be when Juice was still on, I think, too, right?
Oh yes, shout out to Juice. We got you on the cup right here.
The old school, dude. I think I did those mugs were the Beavis and Butthead inspired mugs. Mm-hmm. I think it was for the 100th episode, right? I think it was the 100th episode special. I think when Juice came back and we just had like a 100th episode special, limited time, dude. I think they ran for like 2 weeks. That's pretty cool that you got one, man. Thank you, dude.
Yeah, man, it's the best souvenir ever, man. It's gonna go a long ways, years down the road, man, when you watch this.
I always like that design, dude. Shout out to my brother. My brother actually designed that, man, inspired by Beavis and Butthead. But man, enough about me and the show and everything, dude. I want to talk to you, man. So right off the bat, man, pun intended, I want to talk to you about your Red Hood, dude. Specifically, something with your mini Red Hood renditions that is more so on the recent side. September of 2023, you debuted something that you were working on, and that was your Red Hood DCeased, man. You started off with the helmet, with this zombie-like Jason Todd face breaking out of it, and it's just so greatly done, dude. I'm looking at it right now. It's probably up on the screen for everybody watching. You got the paints chipped, it's battle damaged, the zombie face busting through, and you painted this yourself. And then about a month later, you dropped the full reveal, and all the photography was self-shot as well, dude. So like, where did this idea start from, and like, what was the process like? I mean, obviously inspired by the DC Comics DCeased iterations, but I know you stated it was some of your most challenging paint work and most like detailed work as well. So kind of like just walk us through it, man, from beginning to end.
Pretty much 2021 was, the year I started cosplaying, and Red Hood's always been my character. And if you really look back on his origin story, it's, back from the dead, from, the Lazarus pit and all that. Right. And then I didn't really get too much into the DCeased storyline, but this action figure, I think it's called the Unkillables Red Hood, came out, and you could kind of see, I'm not sure who the 3D model was of the actual helmets. I'd love to give credit to that. I don't own a 3D printer, so I would buy him raw prints, and then, and I just became so obsessed with the character. So that was probably like my 4th or 5th helmet that I worked on for Red Hood. And I stacked all of my skills that I've learned from, prep and painting to this one. And just, it took a lot of different techniques just to get it to that like style, to where it's like paint chipping. You could reveal the metal underneath, revealing that zombie flesh skin there, and it was my goal for Halloween. I usually try to set goals within, or goal timing for whenever I release certain things. And what I did is when I show it on my stories and all that, people are seeing the red Ronin version of that helmet. I always wanted that helmet. I love that model. It's such a is very unique to me. But if you turn it to the left side of them, you got that zombie face that's just like, "Arr."
Yeah.
And that's just that grit of that character just really stood out to me, you know. And one of the most inspirational things, if I didn't see Paper Moon's version of the
yes,
I think it's the
her
Batgirl,
deceased
right?
Batgirl, deceased Batgirl, yeah.
I was like, wow, I wish there was something, you know, that could do similar to that, because that's just like such a gritty, you know, violent style, and those fit the character in that universe pretty well.
Yeah.
So when I found this, you know, raw print of the helmet, I immediately, here's my credit card, and take that and work on it. I want to get this done by Halloween, and is mainly to do a little bit of you know, theatrical work with it. I wanted to do certain things with my Robin or Jason Todd, encountering that version of you know, the zombie universe, because there's a clip where, you know, he's talking to another character. He's like, I can't go back in time. I don't know how long I could do this, because each time he goes to this universe, it hurts him. You know what I'm saying? It's like something I kind of came up with, you know, and I just want to kind of add to that.
That's the reel that you posted, right?
Yes.
Yeah, because alongside the photography that you shot for this iteration of your Red Hood, which by the way is phenomenal, and there's one that I just want to highlight real quick, dude. And it's like this. Hold on, I'm looking through them as I'm talking. Okay, yeah, it is more of like a close up one, and I'm throwing it on the screen right now. And it's like a close up shot of you like wearing the helmet, the zombie busting through, and it's like a little bit of your shoulder. That's the one I'm talking about, just in case you don't have it in front of you right now. And like it's just amazing, dude, with the eye lighting up on one side, but then the zombie on the other side, and it's just beautiful. Beautifully done, dude. I mean, all of it, and you shot it yourself as well. And you were talking about like this. Was it really even just the photo work of it?
Yes, just focusing the camera, making sure your foot's placed, because everybody knows when you're wearing any helmet of sorts, especially Red Hood, the mesh eyes. Yeah, you can't see. You can still see through them. But I got my key light, I got all this lighting, so you're pretty much like going into
blinded a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely, like no sight at all. Yeah. So you got to like put things on the ground so you don't step on it. The filming portion took, I want to say, 2 hours just to get that small little clip.
For that video that you did?
Oh yeah, man,
yeah, and so people know what we're talking about. You like kind of like what you said. You like facing one another, and what it is, it's you as Red Hood coming face to face with a multiversal Red Hood, like the DCeased version, and you dropped it for Halloween of 2023, and it's such a great job, dude. I mean, the acting to the cosplay itself, obviously, to the self-shot aspect, the lighting, the editing, it's beautifully done, dude. You know, and it's been up on the screen right now for people that are watching right now. I mean, how did you achieve that? That flicker lighting effect, dude? Like, was it done in real time, or did you do it in post?
Yes. So the flickering, I have this key light. It has this effect where it looks like, you know, fire, or like, there's like a strobe on TV. This one was like a fire effect. So I just kind of like turned down the temperature volume on that, so it's a little bit warmer. So it kind of looks like fire, like that he's kind of like in an environment, because you could only do so much in, you know, that, what's that? Vertical ratio. So it's like I try to give, you know, the audience, you know, some way to feel like, all right, he's in this environment that's really like there's infinite black behind him, but yet he's in this fire, so it gives him a little bit more understanding of like this not a good place to be, you know. So that light, you know, it's flickering, you know, everything's done in real time. The only thing is like the sound I did on my own, because I'm trying to learn sound a little bit.
Right.
But
so you dubbed it over.
Yeah, and I got to make sure my key light for the Robin portion, the actually human version, is like on the opposite side, so it doesn't disorient the viewer, so it looks like he's talking directly to the zombie version.
Jason, what have you done? I can save you. Oh shit.
It's just so well done, dude, and like the flickering of the light mixed with like the zombie like MJ thriller movements. You know what I mean? You're like, you know what I mean?
So I got
those are awesome, dude.
Yeah, I got that idea from this guy, Critical Mass Cosplay. He does the the bat who laughs, I think.
Yeah,
so
Batman who laughs.
Like,
yeah. I shot him at last Dragon Con. You saw the clip that we did, and he was doing all that shit. Yeah, he was talking to me too, and he said that like he was like, the character Batman, the Batman who laughs, doesn't do that. He's like, I just thought that was like an epic thing to do. He was telling me with the way that the character looks and pulling that off. He's like, I just kind of started doing it, and it kind of became my thing. People loved it. And he's like, so now I do it all the time. So that's crazy. That he's also a previous cosplay of the week on the show. So you got the inspiration from him.
Yeah, just the body language that he portrays, that like those gritty characters, and like just in the helmet with the Red Hood when I was doing it, it's hard because when you're doing that, you don't realize that the camera's right here, and then I start walking this way, so that's why I took so many takes. And since I'm doing all self shot, I gotta make sure that walking in line, I put certain things on the ground so I could start adjusting this way, and then making sure that camera's in focus. Of course, I would get my Cabal statue and then put it there, then focus the camera. So whenever I get into focus, whatever aperture I'm set at, it's like it lines up. You know what I'm saying? So that's very difficult to do. But just getting that movement down, it's all about, that's one thing I want to get into acting and all that. It's like all body language, movements, emotions, making sure that Jason Todd looks actually afraid that like this, oh my gosh, this version of himself is coming to get him. And so he's pulls out guns, but he doesn't want to, start blasting because he knows like, dude, I'm already strong. So my zombie version's 10 times stronger. Like, what are these going to do? So I only gave like such a small clip, but I want audience to really think like what else happened after that scene.
Yes. And it's done so well, dude. And it's almost something kind of like akin to like a horror movie too. You know what I mean?
Oh, yes.
And I love that aspect. And it's kind of something that I was talking with previous guest Jeff Jenkins Photography. He's a big horror fan. He's a big DC fan. And one of the reasons he likes the DC stuff is because it has that more dark and gritty aspect to it in comparison to something like Marvel. You know what I mean? And I also think that DC, that dark and that gritty, and especially with like what is it called? Where the Batman who laughs is a part of the Dark Knight Metal or something like that, right? Is that what it's called? Or like I can't remember the actual name, but like that style and then the DCeased style. Like DC has this very almost, dare I say, horror-like aspect to some of their stuff, and you portrayed that perfectly. And I'm a big horror fan too, so that like that draws me in immediately.
Oh shit!
But phenomenal job on that, dude. And much like the video that you did with your deceased Red Hood, it's not just limited to things like Red Hood, dude. It's not even just limited to DC, as your cosplays aren't as well. And you've done phenomenal video and photo shoots of your Mortal Kombat cosplays, dude, such as your Sub-Zero and the content that you create with that, dude. Your I Am Sub-Zero clip, again, highlights multiple talents of yours, dude. The cosplay itself, your lighting skills, the videography, your editing, which consists of both video and audio, like we kind of just spoke about, as you tend to do voiceover work as well. And we're going to take a look at this even deeper, man. You've got Sub-Zero pulling the ice out of his hand, the crackling of the ice, the menacing look, dude. I love it, man. And you've got, you post on your Instagram, a lot of the times when you do these video clips and everything, you post on your Instagram these behind the scenes, which, showcases kind of how you do things and exactly what behind the scenes means, and I love stuff like that, dude. I love to see how cosplayers, creators, filmmakers, how things come to life. It's so interesting to me, but there may be people out there that didn't see what I'm talking about, and the way that you all did this and that you put this together, and from the way you recorded the voiceover to making yourself, the ice dagger, and even the cosplay itself, a lot may not understand exactly, what creatives do behind the scenes to make something come to life for what essentially becomes just a few seconds of content. You know what I mean? And so like, can you break down what exactly went into the making of what essentially became about an 11-second clip for this I Am Sub-Zero?
Sub-Zero is one of my favorite characters in Mortal Kombat. I think he is my favorite, actually.
Nice.
And before the movie came out, I have a friend that we'd always look for leaks of like what the movie's going to look like, and then we found this GIF, this animated, like just half a second clip of him just kind of opening like the sword, and we just like lost it. And I was like, dude, I got to do something like this, man. But I don't have any Sub-Zero, attire. I'm like, don't know how to cosplay. It was when I was very new to cosplay.
Right.
And then I got into photography. That was my main goal, was to get into photography. I wanted to do like product photography. So I bought this stuff called Encapsukay. It's like this, it's like this weird latex moldable clear stuff. And then I was like, you know what? I can make, instead of ice cubes, let me make an ice sword. You know, so I made that. I just poured in some like thing and then kind of cut it up and then just kind of made it like I'm pulling it out of, you know, my hand, you know, make sure that the camera frame rate's a little high so I could, that's actually one of the clips I actually had to slow down, you know, just so you get that. Yeah. So you could get that,
right. Yeah. I'm watching it
focus on that. And then, you know, your eyes, you know, it's hard to just act with just your eyes like that.
Yeah.
Me, if you see the behind the scenes, I'm screaming, I'm like,
yeah, to try to get the emotion in the face, right?
Exactly.
To try to pull it through. Yeah.
So, I had to make sure that the aperture focuses like just on the face, because when you see that armor, it kind of looks like super shredder armor. All that is like raw prints of Mandalorian shoulders and like a piece of plastic I didn't use. So I was like, but nobody really knows unless they ask me, because like the focus is just so drawn in the face. Everything else is kind of bulkied out, you know? So I'm like, all right, so let's do a million takes of me like turning my head, walking, and then going into the camera, making sure it's focused. That was hard because you're wearing contacts, and you know my contacts were on prescription, so
you can't see as clearly. Yeah, exactly.
You just gotta kind of guess, and that took like 20 something takes just to do that.
I bet, dude.
And then the I Am Sub-Zero was like one of my first things when I started getting into like learning how to do sound. I got like a cup or whatever.
I remember you tagged me in it, dude. It's so cool. When I saw it, I was like, that's so cool, dude. Like, I feel like I actually wouldn't even, it's so creative. And I've done some creative things like that too. But for that moment, I actually wouldn't have thought of that. I probably would have just recorded it into this mic and then done it all in editing to get that effect. But it's cool. You did it in real time. Go ahead and explain it, man. Explain it.
Yeah. So I just did it because I didn't know how to work all these programs. You know, I wanted to make this little echo kind of effect or reverb effect, kind of like how he does in the actual trailer, the teaser trailer. I Am Sub-Zero, and you just kind of hear it trail off. I was like, man, I don't know how to do that. I don't have the technology. I don't need programs. So let me get this cup and then just kind of breathe and speak into it, so it kind of like pushes it back, and that's what you get. And then maybe I add a little bit of echo, but I try to make it as raw as I can. So cool. So
Sub-Zero.
I don't have a full Sub-Zero costume yet, but in the future I can see myself doing.
That's so crazy. I didn't even know that, dude. That you didn't have a full Sub-Zero costume, dude.
All that is scrubs from work. So we wear like royal blue scrubs. I put the pant legs over like a tabard. That's literally all I did.
Dude. I didn't know that.
Yes. I just
That's
wore
so
black long
cool,
sleeves,
dude.
you know,
I mean, I have seen the behind the scenes of like when you like pull out, and it's the behind the scenes, obviously, and it's showing you do it, and you're like wearing shorts and shit. You know what I mean? Like the bottom half is just like regular clothes. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they gonna
That's
see
funny,
that. I
dude.
can wear boxers.
Yeah, exactly. Nobody would know. I didn't know that though, dude. That's that's creative, man. See, like the shit that goes into cosplay, man, and then like film work as well. It's so cool, dude. And like, but something that you do have, so you don't have the full Sub-Zero cosplay, but dude, but aside from the amazingness that is your Sub-Zero, even without it being full, we can't not talk about MK cosplays, and at least not, you know, we got to throw up on the screen your noob, dude. All black on black, looking like the shadow figure that he tends to be, man. The white contacts, his shadowy phantom-like powers emanating from the hand, and shot beautifully by yourself, dude. And much like you did the ice dagger and everything, and you said it was the Incapso, is that what it was called?
Incapso. Yeah.
Incapso. For Noob, that was I think I saw behind the scenes, or you showed me something yourself, or you tagged me. I don't remember what it was because it was a while ago, but did you create the Noob thing physically yourself too?
Yeah, so it's the same Incapso K, but like I had one ice dagger that I made that shattered and broken to pieces. I was like, okay, if I could bokeh effect or whatever, a little bit, it'll look a little better. So I got these LED strips put inside like a plastic bag with that in there. So it looks like he's throwing the shadow ball and kind of delete some of the wiring, you know. That's the most editing I did. But that's when I was new to cosplay too. So I bought these contacts. I can't remember where I got them. I did kind of like, you know, enhance them a little bit on the picture, but those are like mesh white contacts, kind of like a lot of these cosplayers, and they know it's a pain in the ass to wear, especially if you don't have them in prescription. Like you're pretty much like just you're running into things. Yes. And then the face paint was some cheap, oh man, it was like the worst face paint I ever bought for like $10 out, like Spare Halloween. You know? And then it just kept coming off, and I just had this like really custom like Mortal Kombat style mask I ordered from Etsy. And then I had like this Spirit Halloween witch cape. So I just kind of did that too. And then I had this little cowboy vest. And then just to like, dude, it's not a full costume. Yeah. So that's all it is, you know, and that's like that's why I try to inspire a lot of people to just do what you got, even if it's just like a closet cosplay, because you can make a lot of great things with the most simple, basic, you know, stuff. And then once you get comfortable with that, you could be like, all right, this is how my noob saw about to look eventually. And I've got ideas for that, but that's going to be kind of later on down the road. Same with the Sub-Zero. So that's what kept me, you know, motivated to, you know, really continue cosplay, because you can make like the simplest things. Like my red hood, I bought it from some, I think ex-Cozer, like they had a red hood. And then I was just doing that. I was like, you know, I want to have my own, you know, let me pick on, like, see what these sellers got, compile it on my own. And that's essentially what you got behind. That was my first full cosplay, you know. I was like, I got to do something. And you know, as like Sir Julius cosplay, I watched this episode. It's like, you could add, you know, bits and pieces to your cosplay, you know, make it your own. And then it just becomes like something like so unique. And then people will look at yours and be like, oh, I like that, but I want to change this, or change the bat symbol to, instead of like the Dawn of Justice one, I want to do like the Arkham one, you know, like I think it was Bat Mateo.
Yeah. He has a couple, took a couple things from like, I think 2 or 3 different Batmen that he liked, and different things that kind of molded it all into one thing. Something that you mentioned is like the simplicity of stuff and kind of taking different things and making it your own, just like Bat Mateo mentioned, just like Sir Julius mentioned, and many people here have mentioned as well. And like sticking with the Mortal Kombat stuff as well is something that I think also deserves more attention. I mean, look at what you did with Sub-Zero. Look at what you did with Noob. Like like you said, you don't have to spend thousands of dollars to make something. You can kind of pull it together. You do have the advantage of knowing photography, you know what I mean?
Yes,
and knowing videography and making things work. But something that also deserves more attention, I think, because it looks so awesome, is your reptile, dude. You know, with this this beastly like aspect to it, but still human. You know what I mean? With the green face and the teeth, dude. I dig this rendition. It's a great take, and I feel like the story's probably similar to Noob, similar to Sub-Zero. You kind of just threw it together. It looks like you got a little bit more of a suit, I guess you could say, than Sub-Zero and Noob.
Exactly. Yeah. So when I started getting more deeper into cosplay, that's one of the first cosplays I bought. I actually like commissioned some seller on Etsy. Like he had a bunch, and I was like, I like this reptile. Like, I think it's called a tabard. I can't remember what those things are called. Yeah,
the tabard.
Yeah. So I was like, all right. And then I didn't own the mask yet until like a year or two later. Which you've seen an updated version when I went out and stuff of the 1995 version. But I was like, okay, let me do something with it, make him like the humanoid Zyzoth reptile, you know, and get those teeth. So I bought these teeth from Dental Distortions, kind of molded in there. And then, you know, got some contacts. The face paint, I feel like, is a little too Wicked Witch of the West green and all that. But,
I didn't even think about that until you said it.
But that's like the concept I was going for. Like soccer shin guards I put as the bracers, which exactly. Simple. So and that gives me an idea. I was like, okay, upgrades. That's like how I'm gonna do it eventually, and that sets the line for doing that, you know. And
which leads me into something that you don't see as often, and something that looks like you spent a lot more time on in comparison to those other ones, which doesn't mean that any are better than the other, in my opinion. But that's your 2021 Mortal Kombat movie inspired Cabal, and the detail in this, dude, is out of this world, man. It's insane. I mean, you nailed it beyond all belief, dude. From the intricate detailing in the helmet to the tubing throughout to the weapons, the shoulders, the vest, and everything, dude. It's literally ripped straight out of the movie. So I gotta ask, like, have you always been a fan of Cabal, and like, what made you want to take on what I assume was hard work to bring this Cabal to life in such an admirable way, but like as opposed to taking off something maybe more easier from the movie, you know what I mean? Like, what made you want to go with Cabal?
So Cabal is just like a very nomadic character, kind of, you know, does things dirty, but he can really hold his own, you know. And then once we saw that Mortal Kombat trailer, we're like, wow, we did not expect Cabal to be in this, and he's got a lot of, the same, lore attached to him, but in like modern day. And it just, I grew up playing Mortal Kombat, I grew up in the 90s, and I played all of them throughout, and just his storyline is just so interesting. So in the movie, like if you listen to him and Kano talk and bicker and all of that, it really kind of unravels what's going on. If you look at his, his setup and design, it really does tell a lot. He has Striker's badge on his, thing. So we don't know if he killed him to take that power to achieve that, Archon or whatever.
Yeah.
Or he like just holding it as like, kind of like what Predator does when he either kills, like an alien, he keeps part of them, or he's just keeping it as like a remembrance thing. We don't know. And that's really what interested me in him.
Yeah.
And just putting that together, I found, from building the Sprite Shop, they have a lot of masks. That's where I get majority of my stuff from. I got that Cabal mask, and I was like, this is going to be my second cosplay. So I started becoming addicted to like, painting and all that. So this was my second. I was like, I could do this. And that just really inspired me to, continue this. I bought all that stuff from Amazon, like all the soft parts, like the vest, the pants, boots I got from 511 Texas to make it look more military-ish, like law enforcement type, because that's essentially what he is.
Right.
And I got anywhere from like the wolf tooth that he has. I think he has that in the actual game, the Mortal Kombat 11. And then the knife up here, and just the like headdress type deal. The only thing I that's not a complete cosplay, so I got plans to like finish that eventually. The burnt arms, I'm still working on that. I have a little quick idea for that. But he's just like a character that's like collects as he kills. He got the swords, I think, in some of the lore he got them from a guy named Movado. So in that universe, he probably already dueled up and fought him and stuff like that. So it's really good to see him in live action, with like swords that are like do not match what he's wearing, because he's like it just shows you this guy's been through some shit. And exactly. And it just kind of like resembles like all the shit, like as human beings, we've been through some shit, and we could take different parts and kind of like build it up and take, whether it's a memory or like a physical aspect. And he's got like on my Cabal, he has like a Shinnok's amulet, but in the movie he has this black dragon, this piece of clothing. So we don't know if that's part of his, like flag, or he took it from, one of the Black Dragon leaders. And it's just kind of like almost like a flex, like this is what I got, kind of like the Predator. He's got like different markings on his helmet. He's like, I used the alien's blood to like mark this. And the same kind of aspect. He's like trying to like be like, I am the greatest, like you can fight me. And he's got the he got destroyed by Liu Kang, pretty quick, and I was kind of sad, but they could come back, man. They could come back as Remnants.
Exactly.
I'm not even worried. Kano's come back, freaking Kong Lao. Come on, dude. Why are we sad,
They have
bro?
to,
So I want to see him. Hopefully he comes back in the second one. I hope
so too, man. This thing, attention to detail with this thing, dude. And there's a close-up shot. There's a couple different close-up shots, but man, like just the detail in the helmet and everything that you did. I mean, how long did it take to pull this Cabal cosplay together, dude? I mean, how long did it take to get the helmet exactly how you wanted? You painted everything yourself, or?
Yeah, so I was very new to the techniques, trying different paints, and then when I did the base paint, it was a little too light, so I got to learn how to like do weathering. So I hit up a lot of the cosplayer thing, Cosplay Will, and like all that.
Nice.
Like you just got to do black wash, make sure it's like on top of like clear coat versus, and some people are telling me you got to do under. So I was just trying to figure it out, and trying to play with different tools to make that corroded filter on his. That took a while, because I was like, I'm gonna use this type of paint, like plastic dip, and then start peeling. I was like, no. Then I was like, I'm gonna put wood putty and stack it on there so it looks like it's like corroded and like gross. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because that's just part of his helmet. And then I was just kind of watching the behind the scenes to see what kind of insignias or whatever he has on the helmet. If you really look, he's got some serial numbers from like the mask and different stripes. That I want to do that, but it's just like weathering the clothing. That's something I want to learn how to do too. So I got different types of vinyl paints to like make it all deserty. The boots, I didn't do the fake dirt on it yet. There's still, like I said, a lot to do with that cosplay. And then, just kind of compile it together. And then, like I said, just putting it together, it's just fun once you see the end product, and it's just like,
Yes.
I could be this character. Yes, you know.
Yeah. Well, kudos, dude, because that thing came out amazing, man. Do you have any Mortal Kombat characters that you've always wanted to cosplay that you haven't yet? Like, is there anyone on the list that you want to tackle?
Yes, the main one is Cyrax.
Nice, dude. Yeah.
He's been on my mind for a very long time, man.
Yeah.
And I could just see myself doing it. Like, so I don't know if I'm going to do it through like EVA foam, or I could find a seller that can print me the helmet. But it's just like just this armor is just so slick, man. Like, I just love its movements, especially in Mortal Kombat Annihilation, even though that movie gets a lot of hate.
Yeah.
But that scene, when I saw it in theaters as a kid, I was like, what the frick, bro? Like, I want to be this dude. And he's just like, you know, just the way he like moves and talks and his body language. And that's what inspired me to do certain other cosplays. Like my Mandalorian's kind of like supposed to be like a Cyrax / Mando like thing.
Now that you say that, I see it.
Yeah, like the green, like, you know, lights on him, you know, and like just black and yellow, you know, I just love that character. So that's one on my goal.
Hashtag goals.
I want to talk to you a little bit about like your videography and your acting and everything, but before we do that, let's break up the monotony and let's get into this week's Cosplay of the Week. Oh, and this week's Cosplay of the Week is none other than WFMMK, or maybe it's WFMK, and we're throwing it up on the screen right about now. Oh, and this is his Batman, and this is absolutely amazing, dude. I love everything about this dope edit from Judatalion. That's JUDAHTALION on Instagram. And you've got the suit and the cowl by AE_cosplay suits, a previous guests on the show. And this is absolutely dope, man. You have been in the vault for a very long time. So this is a long time coming cosplay of the week. And I love everything about this, man. From you being in the forefront with your bat suit with this more like white and black, or like a lightish grayish, gray and black bat suit that you have here. You've got the yellow belt, the bat symbol on the chest, looking absolutely awesome, dude. And the way that the cape is just flowing in the wind. You've got the rain coming down. You can see the GCPD in the background, dude. And then like also with the bat symbol, of course, in the sky, man. And it's just that gritty, you know, standing on the gargoyle type Batman. It's that gritty classic, you know, Batman DC comics, the dark and the gritty that everybody loves, dude. And it's just perfect, man. And I want to throw up another one, and I'm throwing that up on the screen right about now. And this one is a photo by Focal_Alpha. And I don't know if the previous one that we just had up, I know the edit was by Judatalion, but I don't know if the photo was also done by Focal Alpha. So Focal Alpha, if it was, shout out to you, man. Got a great photo as well. But this one is absolutely awesome, man. And this kind of shows a little bit more of a full body in not such a hyper realistic editing setting, more of a realistic setting. You've got these statues behind you, these chest-like statues behind you that are just perfect. And just the photo, dude, like, man, Focal Alpha, this photo is great, dude. You know, like, there's just so many things about it that just instantly, like, just catch your eye, dude. And even just like again, with the kind of dark and gritty, it looks like something, it looks like it was shot cinematic style from like a movie, dude. It looks like it was a screenshot from a movie, you know what I mean? It's great, right, bro? And we've got, if you hear that in the background, that is the guest of this week's episode, and it is Kapture Realm, and he's absolutely awesome. He does photography himself, he does videography himself, he's a cosplayer as well. He's a guest on this week's episode. Go check out the whole episode if you haven't, and you're only seeing this on Instagram as a clip. But this is great, man. I love everything about this. And the caption on this one says, because he's not our hero, he's a silent guardian, a watchful protector, a dark knight. And I love everything about this. You can also see the boots. And I'm not sure, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think in another post I saw that the boots were by Tilly.effects. Yes. So is it you know that?
Yeah, yes. I actually bought some Tilly effects. I'm actually waiting for them to send for my Red Hood build now. Nice. So just seeing this, I was like, wow, man, that's phenomenal work.
Yeah, this
really
looks
fits as Batman, you know.
It does, dude.
Picture looks like he's straight up from Arkham City, like a portrait.
Yes.
It's like just a strange like area. I don't know if that's real in the back. I can't tell. I thought this was like a artist rendering, but this is like him. This is like I thought this was an action figure.
Yeah.
Like this guy's like really portrays him well, you know.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's a great job, dude. And shout out to AE Cosplay on the suits as well. It's great, man. I want to throw up a third one, and I'm throwing that up on the screen now, and it is of his Super Bat, his Batman / Superman. In case you don't know, this is kind of like when they merged together, and it's really dope, dude. The suit and the cowl is by Jay Curtis. I don't know if I'm assuming I don't know how to pronounce it, bro. I never say it. I just never say it. I always just say Jay Curtis and just leave it up for everybody else to figure it out. It's always on the screen. And the photo is by Rams in Motion, and that's Rams with a Z. I also don't know if he credits the suit and the cowl to Jay Curtis, but I don't know if the suit kind of covers the emblem as well. I know Jay Curtis makes emblems. You know, me and Jay Curtis just did a giveaway. We gave away the Spider-Man emblems. So I'm going to assume here that Jay Curtis probably did the emblems as well. But I love this, man.
Very
this
unique.
Super Bat, it's really great. It's a very unique thing. You don't see this too often. I've seen a few cosplayers do it, and everybody's done it justice. And this is another one that does it justice as well. From the beautiful helm all the way down to the emblem, the chest, and the pouches. There we go. The pouches on the waistline and everything, man. I just dig it, dude. It's very menacing. It's a great Super Bat. I dig everything about it, man. So do you have anything else that you want to add before we wrap this segment up?
Yeah, that character, just imagine two, godlike, warriors just clashing, and then you morph them into Batman and Superman. Right? Imagine how hard of a, opponent that would be. Like, yeah, especially if you're like just, this scale of a character, and just his armor, his armor, can protect them. His superpowers can protect them, and just their mindsets. Superman's a very smart character as well. The intelligence, Bruce Wayne, and Batman itself, like all that knowledge and experience as a character, like that would be a really tough opponent to go against. So. Yeah, dude, imagine just like you're a villain, and then all of a sudden you just see him like just a silhouette, and then he just kind of comes out of it, and it's just like this just monster beast Super Bat, dude. Like, just I give up. I don't even want to be here anymore. Like, all right, whatever. Just take me in and kill me.
Exactly. It's over. Just forget it. This is beautifully done, man. If you're not following WFMMK, definitely go do it. WFMMK on Instagram, because WFMMK, your Batman and Super Bat cosplay of the week for me and Kapture Realm is amazing. Oh, man. Real quick, I said I wanted to talk to you about your videography, a little bit about your acting, and I'm super stoked to talk about that, so hopefully everybody sticks around and we round the episode out with that awesomeness, man. But before we do that, dude, I want to get into a segment that I like to call Shotgun Questions. And what Shotgun Questions is a little bit more of a rapid fire segment. It's like 3 to 4 questions depending on time. And like I said, a little bit more rapid fire than everything else that's been, but it's usually never ends up being that rapid fire, and that's okay. We usually always end up having a conversation about things. The guests, some of them know that it's happening. Some of them don't know that it's happening. They don't know what the questions are. They are not prepped ahead of time. And so let's see what your answers may be when I ask you. You're a Mortal Kombat fan, so much so that you cosplay various characters from the franchise. So, what are your top 5 Mortal Kombat characters?
Like I said, first one is Cyrax.
Nice.
That's just the Cyberwing Quay, like I said.
Yeah.
Next up's going to be, of course, Sub-Zero. I mean, they go kind of hand in hand right there. The third one, Reptile, I really like him. One of my favorite characters playing as a kid. I just love that. The fourth one, I want to say Noob Saibot.
Nice.
And the fifth one, we'll say, did I say Cabal already?
No,
I did not. Yeah. So Cabal,
Nice.
I mean, he's probably one of the 3, but that if I were to pick people on my team to fight against whoever, man, all of those guys, you guys are done, man. So
that's a good list, man. I dig that, dude. Let's up the ante just a little bit. Out of these Batmen, you've got Keaton, Bale, Affleck, Pattinson. You can only choose one, and the rest and their universe cease to exist. Who do you pick?
Man, how you gonna put me there, dude?
I know, dude.
Man, this is a very tough one. But if I really decide on one and be set, I think Pattinson would stay for me.
Nice, man. Nice, dude. Is it that? Go ahead. You were gonna say it. Yeah.
It's just the realm that he's in is just almost grounded in reality, but at the same time, it's like you could still introduce supernatural aspects, but he's still a developing character. Like I think he's only in year 2.
Yeah,
I believe,
year 2.
of them.
Yeah,
and he doesn't even know how to fly yet. You know, he's already a broken character, like with what happened, to like his history, you know, and people who already knows who he is. Plus, like he can't fly yet. His skills aren't really up to par. His suit still needs a little work. So hopefully we get a new Batsuit, because that Batsuit got pretty damaged in the last one. Yeah. And like, imagine if he could stand up against like whatever he was doing with that suit, even though he was taking some pretty hard hits, if you really watch it, so he's still a character that's still building up on his martial arts, his tactical skills, his espionage, like everything, because Alfred essentially taught him like what he needed to do. And he's, like I said, a broken character, and he was already freaking out. He thought Alfred already died. So just think of it like, he's got a lot of developing to do, even though Batfleck, he was already kind of like been 20 years in the game, and he was kind of already broken. He was
polar opposites of each other.
Yeah. He was partying and drinking and stuff on his times off before like he really got his act together with the whole Justice League thing, and if you watch the, like the extended cut of Dawn of Justice, you see how dark of a character he is. Yeah. Pattinson, same way. He's very dark. He can still have sidekicks, like later on, with Robin and Catwoman and stuff like that. So he's got a long way to go. But I would hate to see, Bale leave. I'd hate to see Keaton leave, but you asked me, so I mean,
you gotta choose. You gotta choose. Yep. Yeah. Last one. If you could time travel to any time period, any era, where would you go and why? And you can have up to 3 choices.
All right. So I would go to whenever the time the pyramids were built. I want to know who or how the frick did that.
I agree with you, dude.
Where the aliens at, bro? Like, come on.
I agree with you, dude.
What kind of tools were you using this, bro?
Yes.
But that would kind of cancel out my second choices going in the future. If I figure that out and, like I said, step on a frog or something like that, the whole... Like, I can't even go in the future because the whole world would end, and like, that's it. So, but if I don't step on this frog, and then I'll go in the future and see really what humans can really evolve into, especially with our technology now.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a lot of things, we don't know about, of course.
Yes, I agree with you.
Yeah, especially living near Area 51, man. I've met a lot
that's
of people,
That's right.
That's been saying some stuff, and I don't know who to believe in. Like, if they're just,
dude, I'm so intrigued by all of that, dude.
Yes,
so intrigued
UFO,
by all of that.
Yeah, because if you think how big the universe is, it's like, whoa, dude, like I can't even understand that.
Yeah, no, I can't. I mean, think about even just on our planet, the ocean, right? Yes. How vast the ocean is, and that's on our planet, dude. That's here. Yeah. So, and we can't even understand that. I think we've still only explored like a small percentage of our own oceans. So imagine like
20%, I believe.
Yeah, dude. I don't know the number, I think it's even less than that, unless it's went up, after all these years. But like, so even just that, I can't really truly fathom how vast and deep the ocean is. Like, when does it really end? You know what I mean? Yeah. And then, so put that in perspective, and then think about like other planets, the universe, galaxies. It's like, I can't even, it's insane. It's insane, dude.
Like, is there a multiverse? Is there another, kind of like the DC multiverse? Is there another one of you, another one of me? Like,
you see those videos where they like, it's us, and then they zoom out and they keep going and it keeps going and it keeps going and it shows like planets and galaxies and just, and I'm just like, dude, crazy. There's like, we are nothing. We are specks, dude. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we are specks, man. Yeah, that's interesting as hell. That's interesting as hell.
My third choice would be maybe we'll say the 80s.
Nice. It's a good time period, dude. Good time, man.
I mean, I'd love to see what life was like then when, like technology was really starting to get, like crazy. And then the 90s hit, then 2000, like now we barely have cell phones with social media, if you really think about it. It's like, so we're living in an amazing time if you really think about it, man. Like, just with like everything, just the connections with like other humans on this earth. It's so easy to like go place and meet others, meet up and stuff like that. It's really intriguing. So.
Yeah. go back to the days of when you couldn't get a hold of anybody.
Yeah.
If you went out, you were out. You were done. You know what I mean? You got to come home and check your voicemail. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The answering machine. That's the word. That's what it was called back then. Check your pager. Yeah, dude. Exactly, man. Exactly. Those are good choices, man. Those are good choices, dude. That was shotgun questions. Your videography and your acting, dude. With all the videography work that you do for yourself within cosplay, man, you often shoot short skits as well, and moments that tell, short stories in a cinematic way, and I love that stuff, dude. And a standout one to me has always been the simplicity as well. Kind of seems to be a running theme here with you, is like simplicity, but pulling out within simplicity. It's not a negative term. It's you tend to do these things where you take something that can kind of be simplistic and add so much to it, if that makes sense. And you did that with your short story, Fast Food and Fired, which is kind of like a 1-minute skit that you did to assess your acting, your filming, your composition, your editing, and your audio, and something that I know all too well, man, tackling every job yourself and challenging yourself every step of the way. And this scene depicts a character who doesn't take his chances at being employed seriously. Is that correct? That's right?
Correct, yeah.
Right, man. Let's go ahead and take a look at this.
Alright, listen up, kid. I am so sick and tired of having to correct you all the time. Like, how hard is it? You have one job. One freaking job. To either flip burgers or work the drive-thru. Let me repeat myself. Flip burgers or work the drive-thru. And you can't do any of that. What is it about it, kid? I give you too many second chances. This all
boss.
you give me? No, but nothing. But nothing. I am tired. You're fired. Understand you're done, kid.
From the idea to the location to setting it up and pressing record, man, like to acting it out, to editing it, and what you wanted to portray from something of such, like what was the plan? How long did it take? And like, what was the goal with this project?
So pretty much the goal with this project, we'll start with that, is, just assess like what I've learned since I've got into photography, which is like barely 4 years ago. And acting is something that I've never really like got into, because like I just didn't go for it when I was younger. So I never joined the acting or drama club at school, and it's something I've always wanted to do. And just like learning how to direct. Me and my friends used to make like short films like back in the day, just for fun, and I was like, okay, now that I'm, technology's a little bit better, I'm a little bit, smart in that aspect to like operate these things. Let's see what I can do. And I was doing like acting challenges. I think you were too as well.
I was. Yeah.
And like I follow a lot of cosplayers that, or one specific cosplayer that's like did a lot of acting challenges that just really inspired me. I was like, let me see if I can learn this video composition, lighting, leading lines, like all of the techniques, and put it into one, shooting during golden hour. And that was very tough for me to do based on a character, as like kind of like with certain like aspects of myself. Like I've been areas of my life where I think everybody has to, where like you're just not really taking your life or job too seriously, and then you're disposable, but yet you're giving second chance, like kind of what the boss has said. It's like, I give you too many second chances. That's all you have to offer me. It's like I'm done here. You're done, kid. And that's just, and I wanted to like just make my facial reactions like kind of pertain to what's really going on. I did the telephone like other character on my own too, out of that, and I want to like I said, I got a little bit better with sound editing and all that. But just finding that location, I've always drove like for an old job, I'd always see this little area, and I was like, this looks kind of cool, and it was just an awkward thing, like, man, to like self-shoot these things. Like there was this car that kept like kind of pulling up, and then just like, why, I can't see, they got blacked out windows. I'm like, this is so awkward. And I'm like, when you're doing different takes like that, just for a 1 minute clip, that takes like an hour or something. So I'm sitting there with just like, and I'm making sure that the sun doesn't go down. And like, I had so many other plans to like do it, like he's taking the headset and he gets a call back where he, like has to return it, kind of like the Joker's like where's my sign? You got to bring, why would I keep the sign? Same thing. And I want to do all this stuff, but like, it was just too awkward. You know, like too many people were like, kind of like walking by. There's people in the background, and my facial reaction is like, what? I'm trying to pretend in my head, like, what am I saying? What's the other character saying? I'm just
right.
Like,
as you're,
or just like,
as it's going. Yeah.
Yeah. Just kind of giving emotion to it. And like, it's just hard to like act with all those like different, not props, but wardrobe. And, you know, like I'm like very inexperienced, and I just really want to see what I can do with lighting, like I said, composition, and just like just placement of where the character is, just to resemble that, you know. Yeah, we all like kind of like mess up, and you know, like what's next, you know, and then like try to have some kind of comedic role like after that. And I had plans to do more with it, but then it cut my hair. I didn't have the blonde hair waving everywhere and shaved, you know. So I was like, okay, well, I can't do this character no more.
It changed, right?
Yeah,
no, I dig it, man. And I think you pulled it off flawlessly from like,
thank you, man.
And just certain things that obviously are just nature and just worked out well. I'm scrolling through it right now as I'm watching, and it's like perfect shot, perfectly set up. When you're first walking, it opens up and the wind is blowing all these like papers and trash. Like, dude, the universe was just with you on that day, dude. You know what I mean? Like, they were like,
went wrong that day, and it kind of worked to my advantage with the environment. Just
right?
Boxes everywhere.
Yes,
like all this stuff in my arm. Like, dude, people watching. Oh man, it's awkward.
Yeah, dude, the wind blowing, like, which is a pain in the ass when you're trying to record stuff and the wind is blowing and fucking up the audio if you're not, you know, dubbing stuff over. So like, but as far as visually, it all worked in your favor to add, you know, a little more something to the visuals, dude, like of what would happen in a movie, in a big budget film, but they would have fans and people throwing the trash, you know what I mean? Like, whereas this is just nature working with you, man. So I mean, I dig it. It's just those little things that I always love and I notice. And like, again, with the hat, and you're like adjusting the hat while you're on the phone, dude, you pulled off like the character flawlessly, in my opinion, and just for a short little, a little clip, man. Like, it's just those little things, dude, the little things, the movements and everything as well. And you have another that always intrigued me, another like short film that's always intrigued me as well. And aside from the fact that I think it was beautifully shot, you did an overall fantastic job. It's the content for me too, because you have another 1 minute short about UFOs. And we just kind of talked about this in the shotgun questions about UFOs, a topic that I'm deeply intrigued by. And the way that this ends, it leaves me wanting more, dude. And I think that that's a crucial aspect to drawing your audience in, is leaving them wanting more. It kind of means that you did something right, you know? And I mean, let's go ahead and roll the clip. But before we do, give it like a little bit of a setup, like what inspired you to do this one, and like a quick little synopsis, and then we'll press play.
So this was actually my first short film-ish attempt. There was this like guy on Instagram I follow that does like short film challenges every year. I missed the last one. It's based on like horror. This was like a 1 minute short, and I knew, I was like, dude, I'm up against like all these top tier dudes with crazy equipment, and I only got like my camera and like my key light and stuff like that with certain effects on it. And like just UFOs. This was inspired by Dark Skies. The character's inspired by Mort Rainey from Secret Window. I just kind of want to compile those together, because this is a character that's kind of like broken already. He's just trying to, he just wants a break, you know. He doesn't want to do anything too drastic, but yet he just wants to figure things out, and he's just wishing for some opportunity to take him away, whether it's like, so I don't know the backstory, if he found like a certain item or like a ritual that summoned some type of UFO or UAP, whatever they call it now.
Right.
You know, but I want to like kind of like act with glasses and stuff like that, and that just being the end scene, and you see like a lot of smoke, which is really hard to do. Just be like, all right, like he's gone, his glasses are here, and then the audience can take that story however they want. Like somebody finds the glass, like, well, what happened? You know, like
yeah, definitely. Let's roll the clip, man. This is your short. Earth Ain't So Bad.
Every day I look up at the sky looking for hope. Things definitely haven't been going my way lately, and sometimes I wish I could just disappear. Then one night was different. Outside, a giant glowing light. A hexagonal orb stationary as it beams directly upon me. Starstruck, I could not move. And then it took me. Where did I go? Will I ever come back? I don't know. Let's just hope for the best.
I love everything about it. Like just kind of like you said, like the way that it's like panning up and you hear the voiceover and everything. It's very cinematic. It's like it's perfectly done in my opinion, even just for like a little short minute one clip. And then it's just the way that like he comes outside, he's looking up, and then it cuts to the like being what exactly were you going for? Is he being taken up? Is he being possessed? Yes. Okay, he's being taken up, right? Okay.
Yes.
Like the way that it does that, the eyes, I love it, dude. Like,
yeah. It was like almost like a demonic possession, but like it's like it's taken from like dark skies. You don't know if it's a demon or a UFO. I want to have that kind of aspect because his eyes are whited out. Those when I got the mesh colored contacts around the time when I did Noob Saibas around that time period. Yeah. So I was like, when do you freaking do something with this to make it really like he's like paralyzed and then taken because he's obviously taken because his glass he drops the glass.
Right. Yeah, I was going to get to that.
Crap, like and then. In the morning, like whoever finds the glass, you see the smoke kind of like trailing off. Like, whoa, like what's radiation activity? Like, I don't know. You can do whatever you want with that, but like I said, it was just like a project that I really want to do. This really kind of scare people with the sounds. I have this like old synthesizer and the amplifier that recorded a little warbles, I think they call it. And that's one thing I wanted to like see what my skills can do, with what I got without like crazy programs and so
I think another job well done, dude, especially like the end too. You know what I mean, where it from beginning the opening shot is so beautifully done with the panning up and everything and the voiceover work, and then the end shot kind of brings it full circle, dude, with the glasses on the floor, and then you got that low angle shot. Like it's a job well done, man, and it's something that always left me wanting more. One, because I think it was a job well done by you, and two, because the content is something that really intrigues me, UFO stuff, dude. And I just thought you did such a good job at it. Like UFO stuff can be hard to tackle in film, if you don't have like, it depends on what you're doing and what story you're kind of telling, of course, you know what I mean? But if you're trying to, show an alien or something, that may be difficult. If you're trying to show UFO stuff, if you're trying to have anything flying, that could be difficult. And to have those things be intriguing, I felt like you told a really cool story in a 1 minute thing, and it really made me want to be like, damn, dude, like, how can we, like, I'll fucking help you. How do we make this a film? You know what I mean? Like,
I'm down, Ron. I live right next door.
Dude, I know, man. You know what I mean? We both got the cameras. We both got the ideas. Like,
equipment.
How do we do this, man? But I dig it, man. I dig it. I really like, we are going to get ready to wrap up, man. But I really dig how you're multi-talented, bro, and kudos to you, man. I feel like you're one of those dudes out there that deserves so much more than they have, and you just the way that you do your cosplays, from the way that you build your cosplays, you paint your cosplays, you work with others to make all these cosplays come to life, and they're so amazing. From the ones that you put a lot of work into, such as like your Red Hoods and your Mandalorian as well. To the simplicity of your Sub-Zero and your Noob and your Reptile and everything like that. It's admirable, and it shows that, again, you don't have to do all the crazy stuff to pull a good cosplay together. And you have, like I said earlier, the advantage, of course, with your photography as well, and then your videography. And I love how you mold all of that together, like one big amalgamation of like artistry, cosplay, photography, videography, and then also, going into just videography that's outside of cosplay with the UFO, with the fast food. And you've done some other things as well that we didn't get to mention here, such as that one with the city. I don't think you have it on your Instagram anymore, man, but where you're sitting in the car, you get pulled over, I think, and the cop lights are flashing and everything, dude.
Yeah.
Even just that, like, I don't think it was a full story. I think it was just like a lighting test that you were doing or something, but like,
exactly,
dude, fucking amazing. Like, just the simplicity of that is so cool, dude. And I dig it, man. So with that being said, real quick, before we get out of here, I mean, what's the future look like for you, dude? Like when it comes to cosplay, and then also like on the videography side of things, what's 2024 looking like?
So 2024, what it's looking like, of course, I got the Red Hood 2024 going. Mm-hmm. I'm still waiting on certain parts of it. I just really wanted to do like another complete Red Hood. But like I said, I'm a photographer first. Mm-hmm. I'm an aspiring videographer. So I really always wanted to be into like short films. That's like one of my goals, to actually like tackle some, even if it's like a 3 or 5 minute short film, I really want to like do something along those lines, whether it's a fan film, which, like I've probably later on down the road, I could see myself doing some kind of multiverse, kind of like how I'm doing with the zombie Jason Todd. Right. I can see myself doing something like that in the future with, either me as actor, like having certain people do it with me, or working with you, man. Like,
dude, I'd love to
compile something, do like a short film or something.
Yeah, dude.
Even if it's not cosplay related, man.
Yeah, we just got to plan it out, man.
horror.
And like, if you have like 2-3 days, maybe, you know, come out this way or something. Or if I do, I'll go out that way. And we just got to plan it and like, make sure we shoot everything in those 2 to 3 days. You know what I mean? And like, and wrap it up, you know, and get a little bit of help or something from a couple people that maybe are in the area that want to participate, you know, and I'd be down, dude. We just got to plan it, take advantage of our time, you know?
Exactly. And that's one thing too, is like cosplays, a lot of it's like collaboration, if you really think about it, you know. So it's like another goal of me is to you know, get in touch with more cosplayers, you know, work with them, get some collab shoots going. I have a few people that, you know, hit me up to like, dude, we can collab, I'll be in town, or like just certain things, people that already live in town. I'm starting to get a little bit more, you know, connected to the people that are already here in Vegas that I had, you know, like no idea about. Now it's like this cosplay thing in Vegas getting a little bit bigger. There's more events, you know, that you can attend and more people to connect with. And that's something I really want to do, is connect with others. Of course, help people on the side. You know, a lot of people hit me up to like show them techniques, and like I hit up a lot of people like, yo, what kind of techniques do you do? And that's really what really gives me that oomph about cosplay. It's like everybody's willing to help each other. You know, you see like
great community
people, you see a lot of people like creating different things, and you're like, yo, like that's inspiring me to do this. And if you really think about it, if you look back 10 years from now, it's like, wow, we helped, you know, others create their version of what they want to do. I know I had my like, you know, role models cosplay, and I still do. And that's really like building me up at like in completing certain things, you know? So,
100%, man. We got to link up with, real quick, back to the videography stuff and the filmmaking. We got to link up with Hutch, man. Me, you, and Hutch, dude. Secretly Peter Parker is one of his accounts, and then Spectacular Spider-Man for his cosplay account. He's a previous guest in previous Cosplay Week on the show. He does cosplay, he does music, he does film work. He's a multi-talented dude as well, man. So I think the three of us could create a lot of really cool stuff together, whether it be in the cosplay world, in the film world, and then between me and Hutch, we can handle the music side of things too, dude. You know what I mean? Like we could have a good time, man. We definitely got to make that happen. And he's out with you, so he's out there. Vegas, he's out in Vegas, man. Dude, it's been an awesome time, man. It's been absolutely cool. I knew this episode was going to be great. I had a great time. There's so much more that I want to talk to you about. I really wanted to dive into your Mandalorian, dude, but you know what? There's always part 2. It'll be a good time, man. Before we get out of here, last thing is I want to give you the floor to say whatever it is you want to say, plug whatever you want to plug. The last couple seconds right here for you, man. Floor is yours.
All right, guys, just want to say thank you. You know, this is very amazing experience to be here with, of course, Chazzy, you know, amazing guy to work with, very intelligent, very well-rounded with everything. And, you know, just inspirations from him, everybody else. I wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for a lot of you guys, you know, and I wish I could be there for a lot more of you guys in the future, but we haven't met yet. So you know, go ahead, hit me up, you know, Kapture_realm on Instagram. You know, like hopefully in the future we could get some stuff going. You know, you could teach me some things, I could teach you some things, you know, and kind of be on the lookout, because, you know, it's only going to get better for all of us, you know, as a whole in this universe or realm, you know, should I say? So, you know, I'm just looking forward to it, and the future's got a lot of great things for each and every single one of us. So let's do this together. You know, let's, you know, just go through 2024 and make, you know, this year the greatest, you know.
100%, man. Ladies and gentlemen, Kapture Realm. Please go follow him if you're not. Kapture_realm. And remember, that's Kapture with a K. Thank you for coming, man. It's been great, dude, and I can't wait to do it again, man. And to everybody tuning in, thank you for watching, for liking, for commenting, for sharing, for doing all of those beautiful things that you do over on youtube.com/Side Project Podcast. When you go down, you hit that big red subscribe button. And when you hit it, it goes, and you get 100 sexy project points. Thank you for listening and watching on Spotify, and following and rating and everything that you do over there on Spotify, because videos are available on Spotify as well. I thank you from the bottom of my heart. If you're looking for me, you can find me on Instagram at IGHatesChazzy. That is my personal. Everything else you need to find me at is on the screen right about now. And if you're looking for the podcast as a whole, you can find it on Instagram at Side Project. And that's Project with a K. For me, for Kapture Realm, we are out of here.